Now from Hollywood, California, the horror capital of the world, the Boulet Brothers, creatures of the night.
Hello, my dirty little darlings, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night. I'm sad a little bit because I think we're drawing closer and closer to the end of our season 3 recaps. And I have to say, so far, I think season 3 has been my favorite season to recap because it's just been so enlightening to revisit the drama, the fireworks, the interpersonal craziness, and of course, the amazing drag across the spectrum. It's so good. I think
Especially across the spectrum. No, got that.
I think this episode, the Halloween haunt episode, may be my favorite episode of season 3.
Really?
I think so. And it's not because of the drama. It's because I love the theme so much. I love the theme. I love the pumpkins. And I got the pumpkin because that haunted house at the end is amazing. Like, I really love this episode. So I'm curious, how do you all feel about our episode 8 of season 3, the Halloween haunt?
Just in general, or the whole?
Like, what was your reaction watching it again?
It was fun. It was fun. I mean, I think it was our chance to bring the Halloween ball, which is something we've done for a long time, into the show. So it was a little nod to our history. And of course, I love everything Halloween. And this is the first time we brought Halloween to the show. So I loved it.
Yeah, overall, I think this episode is awesome. The main thing, though, is I didn't remember a lick of this episode. I didn't remember any of it from, like, there's so many times I was like, oh, right, the song is that. Oh, right, what's the extermination? They're going to do what? Who's going to what? Like, it just was like one after another. I was like, oh my God, this is like a fresh watch for me. So honestly, loved it.
I want to talk about the intro a little bit because I think this is kind of like a chilling moment with Drac opening the door. And I remember you really enjoying this day shooting. You're like, no. I don't want story. I don't want a setup. I want her to ring the bell and I just open the door and stab her in the chest. And that's exactly what we got.
Because it was more of us in our safe house, you know, and like we were hiding in a neighborhood and someone dared to ring the doorbell on Halloween and they got what they deserved.
Now, you're dancing very close to her identity. Let's spill the tea on who the trick-or-treater was that had to bite the dust.
It was our costume designer, Mindy.
Yes. Yay.
I loved that. And I forgot that she did that. Like Ian, I kind of blanked a lot of this episode. So it was almost like watching it for the first time again.
I was really trying to get that shot at the time that was reminiscent of Halloween 5 when Michael Myers kills Rachel. It's just a really interesting way they shot it where the camera pushed in as he brought the knife down on her chest. And I just remember it being really intense. So that was the inspiration for that. You know, Halloween, because it's a Halloween.
Oh, Drac, your mind. Girl, what? Wait, I'm sorry. Pause, throw this mission reverse. Excuse me? That's crazy. Something else I really love about this intro, I was like, damn, this basic bitch dialogue is basically if you just took me on tour.
When she's like, yes, queen, yes, mama.
Slay. Okay, girl. Yeah, honey, we're going to go and do shots, mama. I'm like, this is me backstage. Like, this is literally backstage at Queen Kong.
Did you guys catch it when Mindy was going up to the door, the spirit of Halloween? The jack-o'-lantern was right there on the stoop.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was. We had it outside the door.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did love that. Okay, so we get the challenge issuing. This is our kind of homage and really the first time we dip into classic Halloween, which is a theme that we eventually repeat sort of throughout multiple seasons because we love Halloween that much. And the look has to reimagine a classic Halloween costume complete with a carved pumpkin, which I loved that little detail.
They did not take that part very seriously. I was pissed. I was
they
like,
didn't.
I know.
These are your jack-o'-lanterns.
I think the only jack-o'-lantern that really nailed it is Landon's. I'm like, okay, cool. You could see that as a jack-o'-lantern, but I'm just gonna say it. I think that Dolly should have used a stencil for RIP because I was like, "Ooh, honey, you need a hot knife or something. This is rumbly. Like this is looking really weird."
Oh, that's funny.
I just remember trying to find. I was like, "We need like giant like pumpkins," and everyone's like, "They're not in season. I'm like, come on, surely some farm has them in the basement or something. And they're like, no.
Oh my God, Drac, how many times in the production of the show, year after year, it's like, oh, I got it. We can do a corn maze and it's this and it's that. It's like, well, we're shooting in spring. And you're like, there's got to be a corn maze somewhere. And the answer is no.
It happens all the time. It makes me so pissed. Because around Halloween, we go around all the haunts and everything, and they'll have all those corn mazes and shit. And I'm like, come on, let's just go there and shoot. And it's like, it's a dirt field.
It do be dirt. You mentioned Dahlia and the RIP thing. Priscilla and Dahlia again. More scratches and fireworks. But we do have kind of a reconciliation moment here, which I think was so needed. And I was so grateful to get it. What did you guys think of that?
I thought that it was nice until it then got like ramrodded off the road again. Like I was like, oh wow, like I'm really glad that Priscilla said that. I'm really glad. And then it's like lunch happened and suddenly Priscilla's like, actually, fuck you, bitch. Oh my God, Jesus, again.
I don't know. Yeah. No makeup talk is better to me than Monique and James when they hug and they're like, I love you. You're my sister. And then immediate talking head. James gave me another one of her fake ass apologies.
Iconic. So iconic.
I know. Monique gave us so much with her time here on Dragula.
I always say, when you come on the show and like something, you know, people get upset about getting eliminated. They get like really bitter about it sometimes. But I'm always like, look, you're a character on a TV show. You could be there 2 episodes and be iconic and be never forgotten if you play your cards right and make the most of every moment you're on screen. And people like Monique, I think, did that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe not even on purpose, but she did do that.
Showed up in all of season 3, I feel like. So
for sure.
You know who else showed up in this episode? Israel. Woo! She shows up carrying pumpkins. She got 2 pumpkins on her chest. I was like, bitch, take me to the corn maze. Plumped. I'm like, this is how I like her. I'm like, sister, why don't you take that necklace off, go do a couple push-ups, come back in the boudoir suite. Oh, she's looking good, mama. Yes, Israel.
You remember the Elvira song, 2 Big Pumpkins? We should have played that as Israel.
Literally. Oh my God.
Holy shit. Too funny. Well, before we go to the floor show, we are going to take a quick break, but we shall return. We are back, and it's time to dive into the Halloween Haunt floor show. Rachel True joins us for the first time, and she ends up coming back as a guest judge more than once on Dragula. And we also have the legendary Danielle Harris.
Yay, I was so excited to have Danielle Harris.
How was that for you? Like, that had to be so amazing.
It was kind of surreal because, you know, we meet a lot of celebrities all the time and go to all these events and stuff and see people. And I don't really care, but Danielle Harris is someone I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like, she was in the Halloween movies at the time. And it just left a big impression on me. And so having her on the show for the Halloween episode, I was so thankful. And it wasn't even like a big agent thing to get her. She was friends with a friend of one of the producers. And they were just like, oh yeah, I'll call Danielle and see. I was like, are you serious? They're like, yeah.
So cool. But that happens so many times for us. People that are just either friends of friends or they're in the horror space. They know about the show. And sometimes they're very famous and they're the easiest person to get.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird. I feel like some of the bigger judges are more difficult to sort of wrangle and then how to deal with when they're on set and stuff. And for me, I'm like, are you a good speaker? Do you have good critiques? Do you get the point of the show? And if you do, then you can be a judge. And sometimes you'll bring on people that are like super famous and then you're like, please delete what they're saying. Cast, please don't acknowledge any of them.
We can't hear them anyway. It's fine. Like, okay, I don't know.
So once we start seeing the costumes, what was your feeling? Like, what was your takeaway on rewatching? Like, did anybody stick out, or your favorites then are your favorites now, or has anything changed?
I think Priscilla's cardboard tractor is burned into my mind forever.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
It was so like drag club show sort of thing to pull, and I kind of loved it.
Yeah. Do you remember when we did our like top 10? It was top 10 this and least favorite that, and top 10 this, like the top 10 looks of Dragula. Priscilla's Southern lesbian Frankenstein woman made the
Yes.
list for me because I think it's iconic.
What about you,
I've got a
Ian?
high, a low, and a mid. I think. I mean, there's only 4 fucking people on the show at this point. For me, no questions. Horny Halloween bottoms everywhere. I mean, you might as well just said like Ian's over there creaming his fucking jeans over Landon. Like,
Yeah.
wowie, wowie, wow. Landon is so hot in this episode. I love Louisiana, but I just think, again, this is one of those moments where I'm like, it's just not there. Like, Louisiana looks cool, but it's just a bodysuit. And your last up or after episode 6 where Louisiana's like, oh, it's a jumpsuit, groundbreaking. I'm like, Lou, no.
Well,
like,
she's going for that pinup kind of style, I think, at the time, and her drag looks very different now. But I think she was going for that pinup style, which is simple, but if you do that, you have to do it really right, or it doesn't work. The hair has to be right. Honestly, the fit has to be right. You know, I think people's hips weren't like drag hips back then, you know? They sat on your body differently.
Sure.
And that stuff does make you look like one of those kind of full-figured pinup Halloween girls. And yeah, so I think I really loved the hair, the 666.
The hair was so cool. And I didn't see it at first, which was kind of like a joy because I already was kind of enjoying the little fire and brimstone cauldron and the burlesque of it all and the horns. And then I was like, 666 spit curls.
cute.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a great look.
It's like her Hospital of Horrors, you know? It's like, I think that Louisiana's drag has a lot of really cool details in it, but I think at this stage in the competition, it has to be, scale is super important.
Yeah. I don't know. I love watching Louisiana and Priscilla on the show. Like, they entertain the hell out of me. Louisiana can make you feel really emotional in a very authentic way sometimes.
Yeah, it's very real.
Yeah, but then she can really crack you up too. And I just think she has such a
oh god, the magic marker on the forehead. Let's get busy, babies. Like that moment comes to mind.
One of my favorite moments.
I want to reiterate again. There are a few just super iconic Dragula looks over the years that stick out and are quintessential definers of Dragula as a show. And I think Landon's Werewolf Daddy is absolutely one of them up there on that pantheon.
100%. You know, I think Landon is the moment. All of the looks, when you look back, like at that point in the competition, you're like, something will have to go really sideways for you not to win this at this point.
Even though I enjoyed a lot of the drama and like the kind of supercharged emotional energy of season 3, I think we're at the point of the season where we're focusing way less on the interpersonal stuff and way more on the drag, like the cardboard cutout club kind of tractor and Landon just complete transformation to hot, sexy, supernatural. And we have Devil Girls and the Reaper. And I just think it's really cool drag.
This performance, I think, is also an interesting moment for the show. The first time that we have like everyone's performing, and it really is, it's like exactly how you see it. Like I'm watching, I'm like, oh no, where's Lou? Like, where's Lou? And then I look over and I'm like, well, damn, where's Dahlia's emotion? And like, why is Priscilla voguing? And then Landon is like, Landon's giving the appropriate emotion, and we get to judgment, and it's like all those things get said. I was like, oh yeah, so it's exactly how I remember it. Like, it's like 100%. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the group extermination, because we were delighted to tell them that all 4 of them had to face extermination, which we need to do more often, by the way. Like I kind of love
it.
This one is so good. Everybody has to face it. So even if you were 10s across the board all season, you have to face something fucked up. And it was just super fun to do this. And it's our first time really kind of introducing a haunt on the show, which we go on to start season 4 in a haunt. And it really inspired us in season 5. And, you know, we've gone back many times now. And I think it's just part of haunt culture, monster culture, Halloween culture. It's just kind of a perfect marriage.
I've always said, I think we sort of relate or click with haunt people the most in a weird way. Every time we go to like a haunt attraction or we're filming there or whatever, the people are always so cool and they're so passionate about what they do and they're nice. And I don't know, I love the haunt community.
Like we like to participate in every way, not only just being the people walking through the haunt, but sometimes when given the opportunity.
Well, I want to talk about that haunt a little bit because that haunt truly is scary, not because it is scary, because it is scary as a haunt, but it's also decrepit. It's abandoned
is.
and it's could cave in on you at any second.
Yeah.
There was nails everywhere. I mean, it was
Yeah.
truly dangerous.
Oh my God, it really was. I mean, I don't think we could shoot there with the way the production is today. Like, we would just never get the green light or the insurance to be there. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know we
yeah.
couldn't. You remember we took the new crew there and we walked through it and they were like, and you know what was so weird? He told the guy that is the groundskeeper of it all, when he let us in, he was like, I haven't unsealed this since you all were here.
Yeah, I remember that, like, every time we would sort of like interact with that guy, we'd always kind of check in on it. And
Yeah.
it's like every time we saw it, it was worse and worse. I
Yeah.
remember the last time that I saw it, I was like, ooh, this is now legitimately a hazard.
Yeah,
Like,
so we
no
took
way.
the new production crew there. Were you with us, Ian, when we did that? Or no?
Was this for 5?
I don't remember exactly, but I just remember being in there with Aaron and Carissa and Lane. And as we're walking through it, I could just feel their eyes on me being like,
Mhm.
you're crazy. Like,
Yeah,
let's
they were
get
like,
out of here.
What the actual fuck? Oh my God. Am I going to fall through the floor? Is this 2x4 going to give me tetanus? Like, it was crazy.
The roof had caved in one of the rooms. You know the room where that, like, I forget what you call it, where your head and your arms go through, like a
The
torture
stockade.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm,
Remember there was a room with like torture devices like that at the end of it. I was like, wait, I don't remember this room. Oh, because it's no longer a room.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
very weird. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It looked like, when you see those shows like a post-apocalyptic, like when the Earth reclaims cities
Yeah.
and stuff like that, because there was like a lot of growth all over everything too. It was like super creepy. But back to the show, this was genuinely horrifying. And I love to get scared, but I love when other people get scared. And hearing those screams, you knew they were genuine. Like, they were shook.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Who was the most scared?
It's funny because Louisiana is like petrified. Like, not even, it's like Landon's just having fun. Dahlia is really scared, but Louisiana is like silent. Like, just like, I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna pee yourself. And she lost her wig. Oh my God.
Yes, the wig, that Marcy wig. Like, when it hit the floor, I hit the floor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And then the blood dump on them. It was so rude, but amazing.
Oh my God. So
So
ignominious and disrespectful.
So yeah, tell me what happened with the pumpkin again. I forget.
They were looking for a scroll, I think it was like their ticket to the finale. So it was like this race to find it. And somewhere in the sauce, Lou got confused and thought she was looking for a pumpkin. So she gets to that throne room, which I remember was way at the end of the haunt. So she had endured the whole thing, screaming the whole time, losing her wig, bloodbath, like the whole 9. And then she sees that pumpkin and just grabs it and screams and like raises it over her head like Lord of the Flies, like, I got the pumpkin.
I was like, but did you get the invite? And she's like, no. And I'm
But
like,
I got the pumpkin. Damn.
Yeah.
Now, I had heard some of her ideas for the finale, and I was really excited to see them. So I was like, all you had to do was find a piece of paper. But I'm certainly not one to say, because some of those things would go over my head too, I think.
There was a lot going on in there that night.
There sure was.
So Lou had to die, but we do move on to the next episode, episode 9 of the Boulet Brothers Dragula season 3. And this is Back from the Dead, season 3's reunion, where we get the cast back together. And I think maybe this season more than any other, I was like, ooh, this has the potential to be epic, but it also seems potentially disastrous.
Yeah, there's 2 reunions I really didn't want to go to. That was one of them. And the other one was 4. Not because I didn't like the cast, but because it's a lot of unrestrained energy and it just sort of makes me nervous. Like, I'm like, I don't like to be around that. And I was expecting a lot more from the season 3 cast than we got, in terms of, I thought everyone was on their best behavior, honestly.
Yeah, the season 3 cast they were well behaved. They were funny and endearing. Like, there's actually, I think, some like standout moments in terms of like, oh, like I kind of like these people. But I gotta be real with you. When I was watching the intro, I was like, who the fuck is this? Oh, she's on the show? Oh, damn, she was on the show too. Like, I was like, oh my God.
It felt like 1,000 years since we saw like Violencia and Saint and Yelpska. I was like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, right.
Ugh.
Let's talk about our look for a second because, girl,
Mhm,
this
mhm.
chinois, it's so extreme. Like our makeup, the baldness, that little top knot thing we're wearing, the red, the draping, the nails, the bat. Like I fucking love this look.
I love it too. I still think it looks great.
Yeah.
I love that dress. I love the hair shaved like that. I don't think it would fit us today, but when I look back at it, I'm like, that's cool.
Hmm. I want to back up to the I love that dress part because I have tried to convince you to wear that dress again so many times and you never want to wear it.
You've
Call
worn
her
that
out,
a
mama.
bunch.
No, but it's been years.
You mean on the
No,
show?
just even in,
We wore it on tour for our meet
yeah,
and greet
like
look.
4 years ago.
Swan wants to wear it around the house, honey. Like you kept
No,
talking
she wants
about
to
that.
just be like
Gotta
Elvira and have one
Listen,
Hey,
outfit.
you
that
know what?
electrician.
The thought had crossed my mind.
I wish. Why can't we do that? We need
We
to do that.
could.
Do it, diva.
I wonder what viewers would think and listeners and fans. Like, should the Boulet brothers have sort of a costume, like the look that defines who they are, and you see it over and over? I wonder.
Same
Let
outfit,
us know.
Sally. That's what we need to
Wow, cartoon
be.
characters.
Yeah. Superheroes wear the same costume. And nobody says anything
Relation
to them.
to Salty sent home Sally.
Yeah, sisters.
Yes. Sisters are doing it for themselves. I love y'all's drag in this episode. And I also really love this Last Supper on a rewatch because I'm really proud of it. Like, I'm really proud, like, as a production team at this time, because this was our first time doing picture in picture. And it was such a laborious season to get to this point. Like, I just remember being there on set and being like, oh, we did that. We did that. And like, it's almost done. And then rewatching, I'm like, wow, this is like professional, like the ins and outs, like it just looks good.
agree.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I agree. I felt like this reunion for the first time feels real. Like
Yeah,
this
it's
felt
like
like
a
a television
reunion.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really did. And Casey opening with some of that BTS stuff and
Oh,
like
yeah.
slapping the clacker, looking like a child. Like the 7 or 8 years that it's been, like he looks like a baby.
I know. That's what happens when you stop taking Botox, you know? It's just
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this one is a little strange to kind of recap because it's really just kind of going through and giving everyone their moment of reflection on the season and their experience. And then the voting happens like at the end kind of famously, which I think is intriguing. So maybe we can like jump around, but it starts off with Violencia as one should because she was first. And there was like this footage that we hadn't seen before. And I don't remember this. So watching it again, I was like, wow, this is actually really moving where Violencia sees the footage from the airplane day. She's shook. She knows it's going to move, trigger her. The footage ends and she congratulates Maxie like so graciously. And then you can feel and see her sort of coming to terms with her inability to face her fears at the time and all of the regret.
Yeah. I mean, that was so hard to watch and to just be a part of that happening because I think it was a defining moment of her drag career. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we have ever in the history of the show tried to convince someone to do that, to do something that as hard as we did that in that time period.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried everything. I'm like, girl, just take 2 Xanaxes and jump. Like, numb it out and just do it. And I know because I've been there now with a couple of people that have jumped out of those planes and they always feel better at the end of it. They're like, I'm so glad I did that. And they're excited and they're adrenaline. And I would hate to do that too. I hate heights like that. But the hell if I would go home first over it. I would just get blackout drunk and throw myself off the side. Probably forget my parachute.
I got to say, I do love season 3, especially after this rewatch, but just imagine the sort of comedy and breaks from drama and some of the relief that a Violencia could have given us throughout the season. And
Yeah,
I wanted that. I wanted that so bad.
I did too. I don't know. And then there was opportunities to potentially bring her back. Like, she was like, if I ever come back, I want to jump out of the plane to start the season. I'm like, that's the only way you would be allowed to come back. It's if the episode opened with the cast. Remember, we wanted to put the new cast in a field.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then a parachute come down and land. And she's like, I'm here. And then she re-enters the competition.
Russian secrets revealed. I
So
mean, that's
iconic.
going to be season 8. That's the season 8 opener right there.
Yeah. But, then I think she was kind of figuring out her identity and her trans identity and all that sort of stuff, which to me, I think people need to concentrate on that for a couple of years. Like, I think throwing yourself in a TV show when you're just starting to figure that stuff out, I think is not the smartest thing to do. But who knows, one day in the future, I mean, she's so talented and she's so loved by her community. It would be fun to see her again.
Yoska also brings up kind of like a really good point here, which kind of got my wheels turning and thinking. And it was how much she was really concerned about the expectations of the competition. And how much did we expect her to change her drag or wear wigs when she usually wears masks or alter what she's presenting? And I think that kind of just brings up a conversation about what it means to be an artist and then what it means to be an artist to go on a competition show.
Yeah. And I think casts after the fact, like future casts, saw that and figured it out by watching the show. They're like, oh, this is how you actually make an outfit that works for the challenge. They actually started paying attention to the prompts. And I never wanted Yoska to change their drag at all. And I don't think they did poorly. It's just, it's a competition and everybody has to go home unless you win. And that's just the way the cookie crumbled. But I think she has some incredible looks. She was fun. She was really funny and spicy in the reality portions of the show. But I don't know. Some people I don't know are good for reality TV in terms of, I don't know if they can handle it after the fact.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I do kind of have to say, coming away from this season, Yoska is maybe one of, if not my favorite character as a voice and as a creator on the cast. Misshapen booty and all.
Well, it's like your outfit was cool, but you were a devil for a vampire challenge. Like, what are you going to do?
This is maybe my favorite Yoska episode because we sort of get the supercut of her. Like the Yoska featurette is amazing. Like I was like, wow, like this is so fun, so spicy. And I think that this is the coolest that Yoska has looked on the show, period. Like on this and Titans, like this sort of strange structural black and white demon with a house on their head and the big, like the nose. I was like, this is so weirdo dreamland nightmare. And I just think that the drag could have been put into this lane more and really would have been really successful on the show.
I mean, the first episode, I thought she looked great. The super villain with that twirly, like black and white thing. I mean, I was like, what am I looking at? I love it.
Eva also gives us kind of a funny moment. Definitely not as thought provoking as Violencia and Yoska. And it's like this whole montage of all these moments of Eva. And she like with a vengeance, she's like, and I'm not just going to sit here and cry. Cut to the next scene where it's like tears and she's grabbing her face. And it's crazy.
I've come to terms. I struggled with it for a long time. I've come to terms with the fact that Eva is a crier, and that's
Eva's emotional.
And that's
Eva's
okay.
emotional.
For the longest time, I kept thinking, I'm like, she's gonna toughen up. She's gonna become more. I don't want to say confident because she is confident, but like more
hardened almost.
Yeah, hardened, exactly. Like people couldn't get to her as much, and she could brush things off, but. That's just not Eva, and that's fine. You know, we all have our different quirks, but there was a lot of tears.
There were.
Yeah.
There were a lot of tears also.
There sure was.
Totally.
So when we get to the end, were you guys surprised at all about anybody's answer for who they thought would win or should win?
I don't know that I was surprised at the answers, but it started to dawn on me that I remembered that no one says Dahlia's name. And I gotta give it to the editing in this one. When Madeline starts talking and the music changes, I was like, oh no. And it's like, and I just think that your drag is really fierce, but I just don't know. And then Madeline doesn't vote for Dahlia, and Dahlia is just seething. I was like, oh my God, this is great TV. Like, this is fucking amazing.
It's so crazy. I think Dahlia in a competition setting becomes a completely different person.
Yeah.
I think that, and I've heard that before from other people, actually. It's kind of interesting because she's cool, she's smart, she's actually really smart and articulate, and her reads are good, and you know, she's good at drag.
Very talented.
Yeah,
too.
I think she tends to clash against people in a competition setting.
Well, you coked out whores. I think it's time for another break. We'll be right back. All right, my darlings, we have returned, and it's time to answer all of your burning listener questions.
Emily from New York writes, happy anniversary and thank you for 5 years of Creatures of the Night.
Has it been 5 years?
Wait,
Oh my
record scratch.
God. Wait, what? 5 years? Wait, really?
We started in the pandemic, didn't we? It was.
Yeah,
It
it's
was around
2025.
2020.
Oh my God.
What would you have guessed it had been?
3?
Like
3.
half of that.
Maybe, yeah, like maybe 3.
2.5, 3. Yeah.
Wow.
5 years of Creatures of the Night.
Crazy.
Time flies when you're running your mouth with your friends.
Yay. So much has changed between that first episode in 2020 and this milestone today. As a longtime listener, I know better than to ask for a superlative. So in the past half decade, of all the monumental advances you've made, what is something you are proud of?
I'm proud that we won a makeup award. I am proud that we were nominated for Emmys because that's something that I didn't always I thought the show would do great and it would blow up, but I never thought it would get recognized in that way.
I didn't see that for us at all. And like, what
Yeah.
a milestone. Like, that's definitely one of my answers too.
And there's something coming up that we haven't talked about yet that we can't, that I'm actually really excited about too. So yeah,
God, I am
it's a thing that I'm proud of, but we can't talk about it yet. I mean, honestly, I'm proud of the legacy of the show. It's people don't realize that in a way we're not self-aware, right? Like we've been in the trenches making the show for years and we don't look up to see, does everyone like us? What's happening? You know, we just keep fighting and to them there's breaks in between the seasons and stuff. But for us, it isn't. It's just always going off. Film the show, film a special, go on tour, come back, do Halloween, do another season. And it's just, that's how it's been. So sometimes it's hard to recognize our accomplishments, but to wrap that back around, a lot of people do say that about the show. And for some reason, I've heard people talking about it recently, what an impact it's had on the community and just people in general that feel like misfits. And so that I'm proud of that too.
Me too. And I think I'm also proud of this bridge that I think was kind of always there, but no one could see it between the queer space and the horror space. That through line is, you know, people are very aware of it, but I kind of feel like we've created like this freaky, dark, fun, gross, safe zone where people that have those common loves can kind of mix it up and freak out and have fun and like sort of celebrate and just let it out in a way.
I want to go back to the makeup awards actually, because that's the makeup guild. So everybody that does TV and film, special effects, everything is there. And the fact that we won 2 years in a row really made me feel great because it wasn't a Trixie Mattel or someone with 50 bazillion followers. Like we were the first drag artist to ever win a makeup award like that.
Same.
I'm really proud of that. Sorry, just to clarify, we won 2 makeup awards.
Oh, two. I have like a sappy thing to say.
What?
Wait, not one for each of us, 2 for each of us.
A total of 4.
Yes.
4 awards of all the like advances and achievements and all the kind of stuff. Like, I'm just really proud of the 3 of us. Like, I'm proud of this moment. Like, I'm thinking about 5 years of the podcast and like when we met in 2016 and kind of like our friendship. And I think that's kind of the magic of Creatures of the Night is like listening to like our chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, I just love you guys. And I just like, I don't know. I feel like Emily like said this question. I'm like, oh my God, my fucking feelings about it. Like, I love it.
Well,
We love you too.
You know we love you too. I so specifically remember the first day, the first moment, like I met you.
Yeah.
Life has taught me this over and over. You never know when meeting someone what role they will play in your life and for how long. And I definitely didn't see it coming. And I'm really glad it happened.
Me too. Sean from Austin, Texas asks, I was curious if you have ever had to alter an extermination in order for participation from an ugly. We all know Louisiana was going to go through with the stapling, yet she made it clear that she would faint. What were the preparations for that? And my bigger question is for the bungee jumping in season 5, episode 1. What if Fantasia Royale Gaga was up for extermination? What kind of precautions would you have had to take to ensure her safety?
Sean, welcome to the inside of our twisted brains, because these are the problems that we have to face over and over and over again.
I was just hoping that didn't happen. And that is my real answer to you. I was terrified that was going to happen. And I had the similar concern because I'm like, I don't even know if the straps are going to fit around her. I don't know. Or would it be
Or if that's a
damaging to bounce?
exactly.
Like, I don't know. So I'm just glad it didn't happen. But no, I don't think we've ever had to alter anything,
If so, it would
right?
be like in kind of minor ways. But make no mistake, like we do crazy shit on our show. And that includes like if there was a situation that arose and we were like, oh my God, we have to shift gears right now and film it. We would create something that was just as scary, shift gears, film it, and just replace what was there to keep the continuity of the show. Yeah. We're kind of roguelike like that. Like our production is, I mean, it's gotten much bigger now, but at the time it was kind of, the time I'm referencing, it was a little smaller. So we could shift gears easily and answer these questions.
It's so much harder now, isn't it? I was just thinking about that last night when we were on set, and I was like, why does everything take 3? I'm like, don't dare say move to a new scene because you just you might as well go take a nap for 3 hours. Drives me crazy because we used to just be like, okay, let's run over there. You know, I like that.
Yeah, me too. I miss that.
Kuma25 writes, hello, mamas. Side 2 of the Halloween record gives me giggles every time. Does the CD have that side also? Seriously, long highway drive at night, it'd be perfect.
I don't think it does. I think it's just on the record. I don't know if I've never heard anyone say that they caught that or listened to it. But if you bought our Halloween House Party EP, if you turn it on the other side, there's a special message if you play it.
Straight from Satan herself.
Heather from Chicago asks, with Mother's Day approaching, I was wondering who your favorite mothers of horror are. And on a separate note, I just want to thank y'all for being such role models of self-love and acceptance and a constant inspiration for folks like myself with the strange relationships to their mothers and parental figures.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. I didn't see that as something we would do with the creation of Dragula, and just I think the way we judge / nurture people, like I just didn't see that one coming, where people would look to us, Drac and Swan, as nurturing presences, which is weird but also kind of amazing.
Yeah, I do feel like there's, and this is like goes into just the whole recaps of season 3 and stuff. I feel like people project their parental issues onto us when they're on the show, you know, like in a good and bad way. Like they want your affection, but it's almost like too much. And then if something doesn't go right, it's like, I hate mommy, you know, and it's just weird. I'm like, I'm not your parent. I am the host of this competition show that you are on. I care about you. I want you to do well, but we're not getting psychological.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is getting psychological.
Not with me in the room.
As far as mothers of horror, a few names just jump to mind immediately. The first one, and you've heard us talk about this character so many times on Creatures of the Night, it's because she's fucking legendary and deserves more, is Julia from Hellraiser.
She a mom?
Stepmom, right?
I thought they meant like who is mother. Like that could be.
I'm like Pamela Voorhees, duh. I thought you meant literally mom.
Oh, I guess you could take that either way. Julia is mother, honey. I was gonna say Barbara Steele too, because she's just so classic and deadly.
Yeah. But what about a real mom? Like
if it's a real mom, I mean, yeah. Rosemary, Pamela Voorhees, the mother in Psycho. I mean, this is a corpse, like a phantom character who is like, huge presence in the movie.
Norma Bates, even though, she didn't really have any presence because she was dead the whole time. But
for a dead lady, she made a lot of on-screen appearances.
What happened in that? You guys remember we watched all the Psychos. A new granny appeared who was like the sister, and she started wearing the Psycho clothes. What the fuck was that about?
Psycho 2 is like diner drama, and Psycho 3, I think Psycho 3 is like sister swap. Like,
new granny shows up at the end of 2, I think.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Actually, yes. Oh my God, that was fun.
And doesn't he kill her? He kills
her
her.
in the kitchen. I think at the beginning of the next one. Like
Yeah.
it's like the opening scene and they're at breakfast and he stabs her in the back, if I remember it.
Oh, that's
Oh my God.
right. I love those movies.
LJ from Milwaukee asks, Ladies of Darkness, I must implore and ask, have y'all with the Junior Mints Movie Club seen the scandalous, fantastic vampire horror film Sinners? If not, I do beg thee to put it on the movie roster. I would love to hear everyone's opinion about this in future Creatures of the Night episodes.
Oh, LJ, my little darling, we have seen Sinners, and it's one of our absolute favorite new horror movies in years. Like, it is a vision. Everyone should see it.
Yeah, all three of us watched it, and we all three absolutely loved it. I think it's beyond just being the best horror release of the year. It's been the best horror release, I think, in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah, I think years with an S. Like, it's so good, and it's scary, it's emotional, it's magic, like, and it's a very singular vision. Like, only one person could put this together, and thank God they gave him the power to do it because it's really great.
The music is so incredible too. Like, I love blues music and jazz, and just the music that's in that sort of down home grit. I absolutely love it. I think there's a lot of spirit in that movie.
The question being posed tonight is kind of funny because we may go see it for a second time in like an hour. Yeah.
You guys should do a rewatch. I want to do a rewatch as well. Like, I agree with everything you said. Like, I even found myself really emotional at one point. For those of you who have not seen, I'm not going to spoil it, but like, there is a really big like musical number that happens. And I was like, wow, I have never felt this way. Like culturally about a film, I was like, this is really powerful. Like, I mean,
I like
really
that
was.
it showed just sort of Black icons throughout musical history, because even, rock and roll, so much of the roots of rock and roll come from blues, Black community blues, and so many songs that we know, through the 80s and 90s or whatever, were Black artist songs. There's so many songs that you'll discover, oh, the person I know that sang this is a cover. The original is from, 1950 or whatever, and it's this artist. And it's just really interesting that they weave their tale around that fact.
Jason from Melbourne writes, Hi, Boulets and Ian. Quick question while I'm rewatching every season with you guys. I'm up to the season 3 finale and wondering what Allegan means during your chant with the previous winners at the start of the episode. I can't find anything online except a city in Michigan.
I kind of love this because
Allegan!
Yeah.
Yay!
You're misinterpreting the audio because the correct word is Alucard with a D at the end. Alucard. What could it mean?
Well, I also really love that it's Jason from Melbourne, who is Australian, catching the RD as an AN. Like, I'm like, I just live. I live for accents. I love it. But yeah, Alucard with a D.
If you want to figure out what it means, take the letters and scramble them up and tell me what other words you can spell.
I've got my decoder ring. I'm ready.
Yeah. Much like the record, when you flip it over and it plays backwards, reverse it.
This one, you have to go buy a box of Count Chocula cereal, eat all of it, get the prize at the bottom, which you said is a decoder ring.
Decoder ring, yeah.
Oh my God. This is a total sidebar, but do you remember when we got those novelty Scream cereals in the UK?
Yes.
And that was so awesome.
Yeah, and they had the fucking screamer thing in it, and they went off on the bus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Did someone think the bus was haunted or something was going on because they kept hearing it?
There was that, but there was also like the bus driver had like a freak out. Something happened where they thought there was a leak in the bus because they're like, that sound, because it was like water running and it was someone's like sleep app.
Oh, that was mine.
It was ours.
Oh, I think literally it was like us, and then I think there were 2 other people. Was like just the sound of water every night.
I actually love the sound of the bus when it's driving. Like, it totally puts me to sleep. It's like the same kind of white noise effect.
Can't wait to go on tour.
You
again.
Excited?
Ooh, yes, I love the tour. I love any opportunity to be like in the live space. Anyway, on that note, That's all the time we have for this episode of the Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, and review if you love us. Don't forget to get your tickets to the Season 666 tour coming later this summer. They're available at dragulalive.com. And we will see you all next week for the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 3 Grand Finale.
Make sure to follow Ian on Twitch.
The Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night is hosted by the Boulet Brothers with their co-host and producer, Ian DeVogler, with music by Neuron Spector.